Yeah. If I die tomorrow, I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sit no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Welcome back, everybody.
So animated in those clips that I love it.
I need us to record new clips, please.
We'll have an opportunity.
I'm looking at myself saying we are here, and I'm like, yo, that's not me no more, man. That's like, I look like a fucking sausage, man.
This weekend, I got you.
You got your all white outfit, right? Because I got all my shit coming in.
Yeah.
All right. I ordered my hat too.
It's Tuesday night, guys. The podcast that equals the heat wave right now. Just as hot as the heat wave that's going on. If you're hot, it's because of us. Welcome back. It's Tuesday night Nerds of the Round. It's your host, Sebastian.
It's your boy, Law.
Your boy, Tone from across the hall.
And we got the Mighty Pong in the room. It's the best detective. So just to touch upon some things, because we got announcements, because we're going to make announcements. We like to make announcements. So first of all, podcast announcements. So new episode, creative series comes out this Friday featuring Jason Lennox. We got a great conversation with Jason Lennox about some of his books and everything in his series that he's working on. Artist, writer, we're going to get to talk to him. It was a great interview. So we're dropping that this Friday. Also, too, in case if you guys have missed it, go to Catch the Craze podcast to check out the individual interviews that they did with us. I mean, they have many great interviews, but we got interviewed each individually. They did an awesome job. It was awesome.
We love them and we love their guests, but they had us on, so we care about us.
Yes.
it was the talent.
We need to go back on and have a longer conversation that's not 30 minutes, and then they
we gotta go. We can still go on live right now. What the fuck you mean?
It's a talent exchange program. There you go. We exchange. We'll still George. You gotta take Tony Law. There we go. We'll do the whole thing.
Imagine just doing a podcast or exchange like that.
We're not ready. Also, too, MBeyondCon is going virtual again this year, August 28th and 29th. Use code Get Nerdy with it to get discounts on passes. Again, the event is free for everyone to attend, free for creators to participate. There will be other things there for in other levels like the VIP experience. The code will get you a discount on those, but again, the event is free. We're putting together a great show. Right now, there are over 30 panels that are planned for that weekend, and it's again creators getting together to help teach and get the community together. We even have some nighttime events that are going on, like a drink and draw, an open mic. So there's going to be a lot of great things that are going on that weekend. Next up, Geeks Out Staten Island, September 4th in person, September 5th virtual at GhostIcon.com. Check it out. We will be there on the 4th.
Yes.
We will be in person hosting a panel.
Yo, in person.
Oh my God.
Making guest appearances.
Wow.
Look at us making guest appearances. We big now.
We're moving up in the world. Anyway, make sure you guys are going there, checking it out. Go to the website, is right there. Again, September 4th, September 5th. If you can't make the event, you have the September 5th to go to. It's going to be virtual for those who are in the area. Again, that's the beautiful part about virtual events. But again, for those who want to attend in person, September 4th. Finally, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Twitch, and all that. Come on, guys. We need you to follow us. Get us to 500. We want to hit 500 for Christmas. We want the 500. We want the 500 rally. Again, we thank you all who subscribe to us, who support us and everything. Thank you for the support. Again, keep subscribing, liking, check that notification because we bring you awesome guests, just like the awesome guests that we were just talking about today, Sam and George from Catch the Craze.
Yo.
Hey.
You caught me paying games. What's up?
What up? Say what's going on, fellas?
We need you focused, sir.
Chilling.
See, like I said, look, it's always an invasion. It's like WWE versus WCW here, NWO versus DX. That's what it is. It's evasions.
Stay young. What is it? Stay woke, youngins, and avenge these nerds. Yo, that opening is dope, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
That is courtesy of Lou Seif. Again, man. Yep. Check it out. Lou Seif did a dope interview on our show and Catch the Craze. Yeah. So you have double the dose of Lou Seif. So see both of that. Yeah,
he was double dipping, Lou Seif.
Yeah, we love Lou. But yep. Oh yeah, Michael San Martino crossover event. You're right. It's always an event with Sam and George.
Michael followed you. He's gonna ask you for that bitty bum bum joint.
Oh, bitty bum. I have a problem with the nerds.
Oh,
Yo,
Always got beef.
What phone you picking?
Before
Yo,
I was gonna give it 3 minutes before we brought Sam on, and he said something out of pocket.
Yo, how you invite a man to your show and then he's gonna come in? Doesn't even say it in the green room in the privacy.
for real.
I'm gonna come on live.
You know
Yo,
what it is?
I got a problem.
He was
It's
real
because George-
quiet in the green room.
George
What's the
told him
problem?
about that. He told him about that pernil you make.
Yo,
Problem? I can't help you for that problem.
listen,
I guess it's gonna.
I told you,
It's good-
I'm
I
gonna be
guess it's gonna-
driving. I'm
I
gonna be
guess it's
driving around
gonna
your neighborhood.
It's
dude.
gonna stay a problem, I guess, because they need no solution.
Every time I come on this show, I get homework.
Yo,
Yo,
George for that.
watch the
yo,
show.
listen, you want
Just
you,
watch
you
the show.
listen, you just watch the show. Our whole thing is
So
you-
like
if you-
we deep
yeah.
dive, but like you guys don't like.
You don't have
Seabass
to.
has been asking like
was
last week. Last week was a perfect
Oh,
example. There was some questions that even us, like me and Tone, didn't like. We're like, we didn't really think about that. Like that wasn't us. So for all,
It's
it's
alright.
okay. It's okay.
George's like, yo, what's up? I was like, I'm doing homework.
I'm like, yo,
Listen,
Sam, you
yo.
ready? You ready?
It's-
We gonna.
listen. There's no problem. Our whole show is to be like we are not gatekeepers. Yes, we talk about a bunch of crap about these shows.
Wait.
But-
George's favorite segment.
I
Here we go.
haven't gotten there. I haven't gotten there yet.
We're getting there. It's just leading in.
We're setting
Whoa, relax.
Gotta admit that.
I'm like,
Just,
come on.
you know, listen. If you want the homework, we will give you said homework. If you want to be that student, you blame George. Sam, you could have came in here and be like, "Yo, I watched the episode while doing my bench presses. I may have not, after pressing one up, I may have forgot a scene." And we'd be like, "It's all good.
I was like,
Yeah.
you guys are gonna mention some stuff. I'm like, who's that? What's that?
It's all good." It's all good.
Sam, you
know what
coming
you're
in
gonna
our
do?
show hot.
Listen, you could
I'm
do
hot.
you could do the patented. Everyone else before me said some really good points, and I'm just gonna agree with those. And let's move to the next question.
He's like, I have nothing else to add. I have nothing else
Yo,
to add.
Tom, don't give away the sauce. Don't give away the sauce.
Next
Okay,
question.
okay, here we go. Come on, we gotta do this. We
Okay.
gotta do this. George's
All right.
favorite segment. Come on.
All right, so because Catch the Craze is on the show, we always do this, but tonight we are talking Loki episode 3 titled Lamentus. We found out that TVA is full of nothing but variants. Spoilers afoot. Theories going off. Tony Stark has died. But who else
Let's go.
has died? Let's go.
Let's go. Oh man,
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
So let's get into the beginning of this because
Oh.
we got to deep dive into this episode. So in the beginning, Lady Loki, who we know as Sylvie, is having a conversation with the TVA agent C20 in the beginning. And again, we learn more. This was one of my theories too, because if you remember in the second episode, this person's like, no, it was real. It was all real. That's what C20 said. So all the agents have their memories wiped. We kind of figured that out in this episode. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Speculation was Agent Mobius a jet ski salesman, and we're gonna lead in with Sam with this one.
You just
Wait,
watched
George.
it. That thing is fresh,
Poor
bro.
Sam.
Whoa, who's the agent again?
Oh,
Yo,
yo, he just derailed the whole show for y'all.
no, he didn't.
That's what this wanted.
This is gold for me. For me, I'm here for it.
3 o'clock. You were me in the schoolyard, homie. That's taking it to the streets.
Always trying to take somebody
I
out.
thought her name was Randy. I did. It was so. Yeah, her name was Randy. It was.
was,
What's
'cause
up,
they-
What's up, Orles?
Because you're giving this lady a number. I'm like, yo, that's violating this actor. Like, her name is C20. Like, okay.
That's what the agent was called, C20. I'm just going by what the script says, but it was Randy. We'll tag George in this. We'll let George in this. We'll pick on Sam later. George, lead into this one. Come on.
All right. So the question was, so what was the question again? Because I was distracted.
No, so how do you feel about? I'm gonna apologize. We're gonna be all off the rails.
Yo, for real.
No, the fact that we know that now that all these agents are variants, and that leads into more of the TVA propaganda. What was the feeling behind this? And do you think that Agent Mobius was in his life a jet ski salesman or surfer?
Okay, so in that scene where she breaks that news to him, right? I was thinking, okay, let's talk about the word created, right? These people were created by the TVA. that could easily mean they broke you down and they basically made you believe that now you are working for them. Sort of like what they're doing with Loki. They created, in a sense, a new Loki. He was Loki. They created him. So that they have lives. I mean, I don't know that they did. I don't know that Mobius was somebody from the 90s who all of a sudden, they wiped his memory. I think that these people were always in the TV. I don't know that what Sophie said is true. And the reason why I say that is going to be with what you have planned for later on. I don't know that this was all real. I don't know if it was all an illusion, and this was just something that it just was set to throw us off. I think it was set to throw us off a little bit and make us think. So I'm not sure. I'd have to.
That's a hot take.
So.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
Sam, you gonna follow up with that one?
No, that's a good point.
There you go.
I didn't actually think of that, but when I realized that Loki, deception, all that stuff, whatever, they could be playing each other. So right now I think they're just dropping breadcrumbs and you're trying to put the pieces together and figure out where it leads. So I just think that they're testing each other. So we'll see. But the idea of the fact that everyone was reprogrammed, and that they lived another life, that's pretty cool. But again, I don't know because I'm new to this.
What would you guys do? Because I want Tony and Law. Actually, I'll save this after Tony and Law answers these questions.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with you, Law. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on this?
I like that Sam said like they're still playing each other, because I like the idea that they are both like revealing as much as they want to as a Loki to a Loki, but like they're tricksters. So like, yes, they have the 5 cards in their hand that were dealt, but I guarantee that they're switching out cards to make the best possible hand so they can win and be on top. But I do think, because when we said it last week, when we were like, oh, he can be the variant, and then, oh shit, they're all variants, that kind of makes the most sense. Like, to get all these agents and whatever the case is, you go, hey, look, we can't put you back in the timeline. This is your only option. It's messed up because now you like completely have no idea. And you're like, brainwash all these people who had lives and past and all this other stuff. So I want to see what this looks like from the realization of those agents when they start going, oh shit, like the TVA isn't what we thought it was, and like when everything starts crumbling down. I'm here for that.
Tone, take it away with this one.
I mean, I guess the Lost point, it makes the most logical sense for all of these people to be variants, right? I mean, especially because they're all humans. We don't really see any other alien races working in the TVA. It's always people. And the reason why, and that makes me think just externally and what we usually see when it comes to science fictions and how humans are portrayed as very independent creatures that are always trying to move forward in life and go above, and never always going above the species, never as a whole, trying to always be individuals, where aliens and alien races tend to be very focused on the collective and the group. You think of the Kree, you think of the Xandarians, all of that stuff. They all kind of work together as a whole to push the species forward, where humans always diverge and we're unique. And I think that's just kind of how we are. So it would make sense that humans would be the ones who would always be variants, because they are looking for ways to get out of the loop, out of a way of living whatever life is written for them, if this truly is a written timeline. But I think it also the fact that where we are in the episode, like they had stopped at this point, I believe, when she said they're all variants, like trying to kill each other for the pad, and they just were like, "This is our lot in life." And she's like telling you, like, "What are you doing? Why are you working with these guys? Like, they're variants. Like, there's no way in hell they made life." So I think it just makes sense for them to be variants, because they can't just keep getting rid of all these people and who are just creating matter out of nothing. I think that's crazy. And after just bringing it up and thinking about it, I'm here for Sylvie at least giving him that much truth, because she didn't need him after they destroyed the pad, and she still was working with him.
Sam,
Right.
I have a question. What's the name of the military force?
the TVA.
TVA.
They absolutely suck. Horrible. Every single one of them getting their ass whooped. They're getting killed. I don't understand what the hell's going on.
Because some of them are probably an accountant. The other one was probably a
That's what
used
I'm
car
saying.
salesman.
If you're supposed to be at the top, right? You're prepared to deal with all these entities and powers. Why are you getting your ass whooped so quickly?
Because they rely on that dipstick.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, you think about it. You got you have an eraser. You don't need to learn CQC combat techniques if you can just be like, go by.
And then they project before they attack.
Yes.
So they do this big swing. You know what's coming. So I'm like, really? I'm like, anyway. They should take
So Sam, since you raised your hand first with this one, because
I love that we're picking on Sam today.
so
What happens when you come in here with problems, bro?
Word.
Puerto Ricans act up.
Yo.
I'm not going to deny that. So let's say, and this is just a fun question. This is just more of how, if you had a variant of you in the TVA, how would that variant act? And that's why I want Sam to start first with this. So how would your variant act in the TVA?
Oh, if we had to go up against a Loki, I let everybody else get their ass kicked and sneak up from behind.
If you saw a Sam variant, sir.
Fair enough.
If I saw a Sam variant,
Yeah.
I'm like, go with your bad self.
That's it. The one who cosplayed a crazy man, the other, that's it. George.
Yo, dude, honestly, I want to be that guy with the paperweights. What was my man's name? Yo, that kid doesn't have a care in the world, bro. He's just chilling. Like that's what I want to be in there. He's just chilling.
What's a fish?
What's a fish? Yo.
Law.
So if I was a variant working for the TVA, or if I found my own variant?
If you're a variant working for the TVA and you found your own variant, take them both.
All right. So if I was working for the TVA, give me like a cool job, I guess. Like not a Mobius. I feel like that's too much work, but just under Mobius, where I'm like important enough that I gotta do shit, but like higher management, like run my own task force and teams. Nah, that's too much work. I don't want to do all that shit. Running into my own law. Oh man. Are you hydrated? Are you okay? Like, what's wrong? What led you to this? Like, clearly something went severely wrong.
Toad.
So I'm the opposite of Law. I would definitely want a Mobius type of job. Just be all up.
Seems like mad work, kid. Mad work.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm here for the cool jobs without the paperwork.
And just kind of move on up and run shit. But if I met my own variant, well then I found my perfect beer pong partner.
Whoa!
I lost.
Yo, you ditching me like that, yo. I have never been more offended in my entire life. Sir!
Damn. You're easily replaced, dude.
Yeah.
Easily replaced.
Yeah, I'm easily replaced by a non-existent entity. Yeah, sure.
I have another problem.
Oh.
So you guys put Mobius and you say that this guy has the top job. But why is he taking orders from a girl who keeps getting jacked?
No, I didn't say he had the top
He has
job.
one of the top jobs.
He has one of the top. He's got one. He's one person away from the timekeepers.
Yeah. What's the name of that agent that
The other one, I forget her name.
the one that she was the first one that when she was with Loki and she got touched and the
officer.
The officer on the field.
That's what I want to be.
She has a designation of B on her. B something. There's always numbers with them. The other one that's above Mobius is Ravana, who's the judge. She's the only one that's been revealed to have a name.
Right.
But I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Like we learned Sylvie, she started as a Loki variant, right? And Sylvie, we know from the comics, was also the name of a Enchantress.
Also, can I point out that everyone got mad about her blonde hair, but in this episode, you can tell that after
it's black with blonde.
Yes. She's been trying to like separate herself from the Loki persona.
Yeah.
And I was like, haha, I love it. I don't care.
Even Bond said, "Look, Renslayer. There you go."
Right.
But no, she said she took an offense. Like you saw it when he was like, "Well, you're Loki," and she's like, Don't Call Me That. I'm Not a Loki. And we've learned that it's her character is a combination of Lady Loki and Enchantress. How do you guys feel about the merge of these two characters? And do you think that this gives the MCU more freedom with the character since it's become a combination of two popular characters? We'll start with George with this one.
All right, so I thought about this, and if I was a fan of Enchantress, like if that was one of my like characters, like I really like that character. Oh man, they're doing something with her in the story, and I found out that it was like a mix of the two, I'd be very upset. Like I'd be like, come on, man, what are they doing? Are you serious? Why did they do that? Being that I'm not that fan, I'm kind of enjoying what they're doing and the freedom that they're taking with this character, because it just opens up the story to more things, right? More things can happen now because they have that flexibility. I mean, she's totally a mix of the two. You saw the little what you call it, like the Loki with the little horn missing, and her name being that. It almost was like, okay, which one is she? But I kind of like what they did with it. I think from a story standpoint, I like it. If I was, like I said, a fan of any of those two characters, I wouldn't. I'd be like totally against it. But being that I'm not, I like it.
Sam?
I don't know who Enchantress is on Suicide Squad. So when you said Enchantress, I say, oh, Suicide, they're doing a crossover. Right now, I'm just a spectator watching how it plays out. So I'm ignorant to the history. So everything's fresh for me. So right now, I'm just watching it play out and trying to figure out who she is. Like for it, I was like, well, you're not a Loki, then what the hell are you? So right now, I'm just learning.
This is a character, Enchantress. Her abilities is very similar to Sylvie when she's like, hence the name Enchantress. And it's just funny, like how you mentioned that, like, yeah, Enchantress has been a character that's been in both Marvel and DC, just two different versions of the character, which maybe might be a variant. I don't know. That's how we are at. Tony.
So it doesn't bother me. I think Marvel does this all the time where they get, MCU, not Marvel, MCU, just for the sake of having all these characters in play and all these actors, you kind of combine characteristics of two characters and kind of move them forward. My understanding of Lady Loki, from looking, it didn't look like she was in it for such a long time, versus Enchantress as being more of a bigger player, especially this Sylvie Enchantress, because leading into the Young Avengers. So I think taking the whole Lady Loki aspect, using that as a variant so that Loki can find her, but turning her into Enchantress and potentially making her part of the Young Avengers and all of that as we move in towards King the Conqueror territory, I think was a really great way of bringing all of these characters in and kind of just smashing them together to fit the narrative of what the MCU is doing with these TV shows. Since every TV show now, we have now seen a member of the Young Avengers. So, yeah.
Real quick before you go, Lord, that's actually a good point that you just said that, because now I'm thinking like maybe she isn't really Lady Loki. Maybe all along she is the Enchantress, and they're not mixing two characters together. They just use that for what you said, so that Loki could go out there and find her. And now we're finding out that she really is Enchantress. Maybe that's where they're going with that. So yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, I think I honestly think it can go either way, just because they're not going down with that scenario, because based off the comics, Loki, Tom Hiddleston Loki would transforms into female Loki. That's how the comic is. Like he transforms to Lady Loki. When we're not doing that, we just have the two variants. So it makes more sense to, I think they do like a Ragnarok type of thing. And so it makes more sense to have her turn her into a different character, but still has that Loki aspect. And really, you get that really good chemistry between the two of them because they've had like slightly different upbringings and whatnot.
And it still gives Enchantress that Asgardian background, because if you notice, she's a character that's been missing from a lot of the Asgardian Thor movies. So we really haven't seen her set up. So this will be a nice backdoor in a way to, instead of like, hey, we're just going to keep calling you Lady Loki, let's just give you a new name, Enchantress. And she took it upon herself to change her name.
That's what I was thinking that they were going to do, is essentially like, so I was thinking that, if they do keep her on past the Loki series, that they would eventually just rename her to Enchantress, and then figure out, I don't know if Enchantress, I feel like she's a villain in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. So I would love to see how that plays out. again, to Tone's point, they always like combine characters. I don't feel like this was one that they had to combine, but if they're trying to use it in a sense of like, we're just giving you a variant of Loki who just in this, is actually Enchantress, but we needed a Loki variant. We just needed in this world, what if Loki happens to have the same power set and moves it? So in, theory, he's everything or she's everything for Enchantress, just happens to have a different name.
So let's go into magic because we learned Sylvie has to be in direct contact with her victims. We'll call them victims.
That's what she says. I feel like she's playing her cards to her chest, man.
Run it back. So no, yeah, we're gonna get into that territory of how they're playing each other, but she says she has to be in direct contact. We reveal also too how Loki learns his magic, how their power sets are different. And we also see, well, we don't know because again, it could be that scenario where she is playing him or he's playing her in terms of the magic, because we see it doesn't work on Loki. How did you guys feel about the explanation? And it also gives a degree of separation of their characters, of how different they are. So how do you feel about that explanation of magic? And then I will let you lead with that one. Yeah, I'm tagging you. Tag.
Oh. I wasn't expecting to go first. I almost never go first.
It's either third or fourth.
Yeah. I like that third or fourth spot. Anyways, so one, she's definitely playing like close to the vest, like not revealing all her powers and stuff. I do like her power, like aspect and like the distinction between her powers and Loki's powers. But I also feel like, so if she is Enchantress and she has all the same powers as Enchantress, but she is a Loki, I think later on we'll see like she does have some of the Loki powers. I theorize like if she's at least magically adept enough to like look at Loki and be like, oh, so that's how you did it. Later on, we'll see some of them exchanging their powers and exchanging some of that magic back and forth. At least I would hope.
Sam.
I think she's playing him because when she got angry, and you see how the ground exploded underneath her, she has powers, and so I just think she's just, when he says, I guess when they say we trust in each other, she's using that to her advantage, because she's not going to give her adversary the key to combating her. You know what I mean? So I think she's just playing him.
George.
Yeah, I think that because I'm on this whole thing that this whole episode was almost like an illusion created by Loki, and I feel like he was in a lot of it. He was in a lot of control. Like I never felt like he was ever out of control. Even when everything is going crazy he just seems to be like, oh yeah, no, this thing broke. Look, oh, what are we gonna do? And it's like,
it'd be closer to comics Loki, no, because he's that powerful in the comics.
We haven't gotten to see that in MCU
no,
yet.
It's true. And even when she touches him and she's like, I can't read your thoughts, like, because my mind, you can't, I'm too strong for that. You can't do that. So yeah, I think a lot of what Sam says also, man, they're totally playing each other. And like, I don't think that they're showing each other. He's showing he's showing her that he can do like little, fireworks from his hand, and she's like, oh, that's, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of doing like, just the lower rate of stuff. I'm not showing you everything right now. But they're definitely holding back a lot. Like when he stops that building from falling down and it just goes back up, it's like, oh, well, we didn't even know he could do that yet. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of just like they're kind of like, sizing each other up in the ring, ready to go at it. So yeah, I think there's a lot of that.
What if that device is not broken?
Yeah.
I highly consider that.
Yeah.
What is not broken?
The device.
The device.
I think he's using that to learn more about her.
Yeah.
So I
totally think so.
We're all deep diving into the fact that we already know that we feel like this episode, that this whole construct is an illusion, that the planet is an illusion. We get hints like the twins that we see waiting online. That's something like a throwback with the Matrix when they were in that simulation when Morbius was talking to Neo, and then you see these twins walking in the background and everything. So we kind of see that at the train station. So I want to ask you guys this. First of all, we're all feeling that this is possibly a construct. So when do you think the illusion happened in the episode? Was it when they first dropped on that planet, or was it somewhere through their journey? And I'll lead in with you with this one, Tom.
I mean, I'm not really sold that this is an illusion. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just there really wasn't nothing about it. Like she's been going to multiple apocalypses. How would Loki know about Lamentis and that being an apocalypse and the entire fabrication of the entire thing? So unless it's her doing it. But again, he had the controller for not thinking it's an illusion or not. So I don't think it's an illusion. I think we're gonna see something that's gonna happen. Someone's gonna come and get them, or they're gonna use their powers, or to the other point in that Loki was hiding and he was trying to, make her open up to him, and he's doing that. Like that, I believe that. I don't believe that they are in the Matrix. Like I do think this was an extinction level event that was happening, and they are there, and they feel like they are shit out of luck.
Correct me if I'm wrong. She went through the portal first, right? Like she controlled where they were going.
They went through together.
I think she was on top.
She went first,
Right.
and then Loki was looking because Mobius was coming, yelling at him, "Don't you go! Don't you go! Don't
Right.
you go!" And then he followed her, and then
but it wasn't. It was from the. It was no. That was to the TVA.
Right.
When they were escaping to the TVA.
Oh, yeah,
That's
True.
He falls first, like because she's holding his. She's holding his.
Yeah.
She's holding him down.
Yeah.
And
They get
he
to the
presses
golden door.
button. Yeah, and he falls
okay.
down.
You're right.
I
George, what's your
think
thoughts?
what started me on this whole path of it being an illusion is the beginning of the episode, right? We start with an illusion. We're within an illusion already. So, but created by Sylvie. She's in the mind of this girl, and she's making her, trying to get information from her. Touches her arm. Now it's night. Like she's constantly changing it up. So that's what started me on this idea. What if Loki now is just mimicking those powers? In other words, Loki now is like, oh, okay, she's about illusions. All right, cool. All right, I could play that game. So when she grabs him, because she kind of grabs him pretty fast. Like it's not even like he doesn't need to put much of a fight. I mean, I don't know how much power she has or whatever, but she holds him. She's like, I'll kill him. And what's her name? She says, go for it, kill him or whatever. I don't care. And that's when they go through that portal. He goes out first. This thing all of a sudden, doesn't work. I don't know that temp pad doesn't really work. I don't know that it was broken. And these are the things that make me ask those questions, whether or not this is real or not. And I think it starts when they go through that portal. That's when it starts.
A double bluff.
Right. Yeah. Essentially.
Sam?
I don't think it's an illusion. I just think it's him trying to prove himself right and try to figure out how she's doing what she's doing. And so because he has an ulterior motive. And so I think he's going to prolong it because he's never been worried on the train when he got drunk. He says he needs to be going through the motions. He didn't seem distraught when the ship got destroyed. She's the one who looks like she's like, what the hell this guy got me into? And I think he's a scientist and she's the mouse, and he's basically observing and learning.
Yeah.
Until he needs to get off the planet.
Yeah.
And we got Dave here. Dave is in the chat. So, what's up, guys? Quick question. I haven't started, but know that you guys are 3 episodes in and have been watching it week by week. Has Tone's mustache become sentient? No, but still there. But no, seriously, is Loki better than expected? It really is, Dave.
Yeah.
And Tone's mustache has not gone sentient, but he makes a mean rib, a mean smoked rib, which we're gonna get to try on the 4th of July.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you're gonna miss it. Not sorry. No, I want to get your thoughts on this all too, but I'm gonna throw something out there, some food for thought. It was Loki who originally saw that Sylvie was hiding in apocalypses, and remember, to search different apocalypses, he may have knowledge of apocalypses before going into that portal, and may have created that illusion of Lamentis 1. And again, it could be him playing this whole system, or because again, he doesn't seem like the type that doesn't have a backup plan unless it's his brother Thor messing with them. And to show that the pad was broken, I just think again, it's like how some said, it's like trying to get to Sylvie, getting Sylvie to open up. But I throw that extra information out there. Tell me your thoughts, please.
All right. So first thoughts. Oh man! All right, give me the first question again, just so I have that thought
No, I mean it's literally like, do you think that this is a construct, an illusion? When
All
do
right,
you think the illusion
so-
happened?
Gotcha. All right. So if it is, I don't think I'm leaning any one way or the other. But if it is, it would have had to be made from the jump. And I was thinking about this before you said it, Sebas, that when he was looking through all the apocalyptic events, that would be the only time he would have knowledge to go, I can use that, save it in my back pocket for a rainy day. Because not only is he going, oh, this Loki is looking, for apocalyptic events to hide in, now he's found his own out. And he's gonna, think 15 steps ahead just to stay ahead of everybody else. And when I said double bluff earlier to George, I think it might be a case of if it, let's say he did create the illusion, and this is a grand illusion of this world, of Lamentis One. Now we have the bluff of the entire world, the apocalypse event. That's why he was so carefree on the train, all this other stuff, and he's just been kind of just playing it very cool and casual. Oh shit, we broke the device and what have you. But like we said, when he just tossed the building back up, no problem. That's him like going, yeah, this, and I don't think she picked up on it. Maybe she did. Maybe out of the corner of her eye and back of her head, she's like, when the fuck did you learn how to do that? But it's one of those things where, again, they've been playing very reserved with each other, and I think our Loki might be double bluffing. If he is like really like creating this whole thing, it's a bluff on top of a bluff on top of a bluff. It's not just gonna be one layered thing. If they do a big reveal of like all this is an illusion, it's gonna be like, well, this was this, and then all the cookies were gonna crumble.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting to see who pulls their cards first. But
let me ask you a quick question before you even go on, Seabass. Has Loki ever been that nice at hand-to-hand combat? Because he's always been. All right, yeah.
So, we see it a little bit in the first Thor movie.
We see it more in the third.
You see it more in Ragnarok when he has his.
We see it more in the third, okay. but when in the first movie, didn't they all go on a mission? And
yeah, he fought with them. They did a whole thing.
Yeah, right. But you see it a lot. You definitely see it a lot more in Ragnarok.
Yeah, he's just nasty with those two knives. And again, there was a throwback when he used his crown in Ragnarok to knock out a dude. Sylvie did that in the fight scene. Yeah. But let's talk about how pop culture is actually still referenced in this episode. I thought one of the cool things was, so we look at Lamentis One. It's a mining colony town. There's a nod to aliens because the guards on the train are named Hudson and Corporal Hicks. I thought that was cool. This just shows so many of the detail that they go into. So aside from those nods, we know Sylvie talks about her mother, which some people, I want to get your guys' thoughts to see, do you believe her mother could possibly be Hela in her variant universe? So we will lead with Sam on this one.
Who the hell are you talking about?
Did you see Thor 3?
No.
Oh, we'll skip you, Sam. She's a badass. Let's know that she's a badass. George,
she broke Shade's character.
She broke Mjolnir with her bare hand.
Yeah, she's nasty.
She murdered a lot of people.
She's the long lost sister of the
Thor and Loki. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the I guess the preview for the next episode, and she's a little girl coming into the TVA or whatever. Is she Hela's daughter? I don't know how much of that information is real, and like what she's saying to him, and how much is just them just going, just the whole jab back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how true that is. Could she be? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the level of power that she would have, I guess, at that point is just my question. She'd be ridiculous. Her power levels would be insane. There's a good possibility. I mean, it's a breadcrumb, so we'll see where it goes. But I'm still on the fence about that. I'm not sure yet.
Law.
I wanna just go straight up with no, but I'm also curious as to why and I would have to look it up in the comics versus the like the actual mythology, but like Loki has kids, and technically Hela's one of his kids
Mhm.
in the Norse mythology. So I'm like seeing a variant where, again, mythology is always weird with that stuff anyways. I don't know. I don't think Hela would be the mom, but I would be curious to see if like the same siblings kind of situation happens. So if she's female Loki, does she have a male version counterpart of Hela who's been locked away, and vice versa? If Hela was locked away at all, does she have a female Thor? All these things. Like I want to see if like how much variation is there, and then see how much of it is her just fabricating like a lot of like fluff.
Yeah, they're playing poker faces with each other. Tone.
I mean, I think it'd be cool if she was Hela's daughter. I think Hela was a wasted villain in Thor Ragnarok, so it'd be cool to kind of bring that connection back and kind of see. But also not sure, because she talks about the fact that she was taught magic, and she was taught magic by her mother. She learned on her own. Sorry, my bad. Loki was taught magic by Frigga. But I still think that she probably is. It depends on who her mother is, right? Is it Frigga, or is it an ice giant, right? Is it Laufey's wife? And kind of trying to see what is. Did she have a better connection with her mother because maybe Loki was a boy and then decided to turn into a girl and then became Sylvie and had a better connection with her mother that way? I think, not sure if the whole parent thing is going to be revealed or if it's as important for who the parent is or how true it is, but more so of the connection between Loki and Sylvie because of the different relationships they each had with their mothers. Because we know that Frigga is such a pinnacle point for both Thor and Loki. Like, that was the best way. How'd you fucking break Loki in episode 1? You showed him that his decisions caused his mom to die. Right? And he had that connection with her. And you talk about Sylvie, who had her mother but doesn't remember her and taught herself everything. So I think I wouldn't be surprised they used mom as an element to kind of connect together, which is which the MCU has done before in Civil War, and we're connecting moms, and we're connecting the fact that you killed my mom, like all that stuff. So I think more of as a narrative to get them together than who the actual mother is.
As long as it's not Martha. What's up, Lucid Dreams?
Yeah. What's up?
So another thing, this one's a fun question because this was something, again, with reviewing the episode, getting some feedback and all that. Wait, here he goes. What's up, Azim?
Azim, what's going on, brother?
You got to get these guys on your show.
Yes.
You got to set it up. Reach out to them.
We're just going to do a
whole
co-host podcast swap, foreign exchange. I'm with it.
So this was more of a fun question because, again, this was just more of like research. This was probably a little stretching it, but I think for me this was a nod to Stan Lee because Stan Lee has played a postman in 2005's Fantastic Four and Captain America: Civil War, and it's funny that Tony Stank. It's funny that Sylvie says that she's maintained a long distance relationship with a postman. Do you guys think that was a nod to Stan? Sam, I'll let you lead it with this one.
You guys are really good because I didn't pick
nice.
up. So, next,
George, pick it up. Come on.
No, you know what's funny, dude?
Color commentary by Sam.
Yo, Sam is just here for a good time.
Oh snap!
What's up, Rich? Congratulations on 300 strip, bro.
Shit.
George, clean up with this one.
Yeah, no. So when I first watched the episode, I just thought she was being sarcastic. I just thought she was just saying, yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, I have a thing for a postman, because she's been traveling so much. And that's where I left it. And then, you know, you go into this into IG, and you go into YouTube, and you start hearing about, oh, the postman thing. And I'm like, holy shit, yeah. You know what? Yeah, it probably was. These writers are so in tune with that shit that absolutely it was a nod. So yeah, I think it was a nod to Stan Lee. I think that they definitely did that on purpose. Like, she just made that comment, not just to be sarcastic, but also, you know, if you know, it's that kind of thing. And I think that they did that just like that little Easter egg they just threw in there for us, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love when shows do Easter eggs like that, and I think it was definitely a nod to Stan, because again, he's been the postman, and they hinted at one point that what was it? Was in Guardians of the Galaxy? He's just sitting there on a planet with a bunch of watchers.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
They were saying like he's a watcher, which I thought was pretty dope too. But I don't want to wait. I wanted to get that question for you guys, but I want to get everyone's thoughts about this scene. I thought this scene was beautifully filmed, which was the final scene when they're trying to get to the Ark. That one continuous trick they did, a continuous camera shot trick. I'm gonna lead in with the cameraman himself, Law. How did you feel about that shot? Yeah, you saw it. You knew it. You saw it. I saw it on your face.
Beautifully shot, like amazing visuals. It was wild because like you have to like focus on them because that's like the the main characters at this point, but there's so much detail in the background where you're seeing like the people shoving each other. It's like you're like, oh, it's about to like get to that point of like no one cares for each other, and then there's gonna be a shift when you realize, oh, we can't make it on that like ship. Then to realize the ship blows up and you're just like, oh, I really am fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I just trampled your son. You know what I mean? Like, I was trying to get to that ship that was gonna blow up anyways. Again, it was like really well done. Like, choreography was amazing. And then just visually, like, this show has been chef's kiss. Like, I'm here for it almost feels like, especially like TVA feels like a very like 80s 70s vibe kind of thing, like a very muted colors, but then you go boom to like, you know, this place and it felt like Guardians all over again. And I was just like, oh, so much good pops of color. So I'm here for it.
Sam, yeah, I want to get your thoughts on that too. That continuous action shot that we saw as they're trying to make their way to the ship and everything. And also too, I want to get your feedback on the set pieces that we've seen in this show and the play of color. So I mean, I want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, that was the one thing that I couldn't take my eyes off of was the backdrop and the setting and the visuals. And you know, I was like, was this filmed in Tokyo? Did they add extra stuff? Is it green screen? You know, and so I kept forgetting to watch them because I was so in awe with what was around them. You know what I mean? It was just beautiful. I mean, and then I was like, this is on streaming TV. And I'm like, this is not it's like they're putting the same amount of money, time, and quality into this as it would as a big blockbuster film. And I was just impressed by it. And that was the one thing I just couldn't get my eyes. And I just kept thinking throughout the whole process, like, how did they do that? Where did they film this? How much did this cost? It's like,
yeah, they really put in for that budget with the show too, with all their shows right now, and it's just like the alien world that they create the backdrop for. It was just fun. Oh, just heard that one. 4th of July already.
Sounds of Bronx, man.
Sounds of Bronx. And George, we'll have you tackle that one. How did you feel about this continuous scene, the set pieces and everything? Give your feedback and thoughts. And wait, before you do, even after his passing, Stan Lee delivers the junk mail too soon. Yeah, too soon, Dave. Too soon. Dad jokes. We'll have dad joke Mondays just for Dave. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, no, I thought, again, I agree with everyone what they're saying. The way it was shot, I don't know that it was a continuous shot. I think they were like very like small cut, like, you know what I mean, with the effect that they were giving us, right? Like we felt like we were running behind them, like, okay, where we're going, and then, you know, when they get blown up and then it just goes to like that smoke and then they come back and they're running around, you right? And then that last scene where they get where they want to get, and all they can see is this thing just collapsing in front of them. Like you feel what they feel because you went through all of it with them. You know, so when that thing happens, you're like, oh man. And the way she walks off after that was classic. She was like, F this, man, I'm out. And she just bounced. Like, it was just done so well. Like you said, Lord, the choreography on it, and Sam, the budget, definitely, dude. Like, the action sequences are insane, bro. Like the cinematography, the colors, all that, the palettes, what they've used, the purples, you know what I mean? Like, everything just pops and nothing gets lost. Everything, you see everything. That's the biggest thing for me. Is you see everything. Nothing gets lost. Even in the action sequences, nothing gets lost. You see everything. So yeah, excellent job on that.
And to Law's point, you know, that whole retro feel, whatever, and they brought back the onesies with those police uniforms.
Yeah.
I was like, what's with the fuzzy onesies? Whatever.
Wait. So you're bringing about the onesies for the police uniforms. So Sam, I'm gonna ask you, what police uniforms would you rather have? The onesies that we just saw in Loki, or the police uniforms that we had in what's it called, Demolition Man?
I'll take the militia man. That onesie, I was like, how can you fight with that? It was just crazy. I said, no wonder you're gonna get your butt whooped. But
Go ahead, Tone.
Go ahead, so take it away.
Oh, man, are you cinema people talking cinematography?
Listen, man, it's my jam, man.
I understand.
And Pong waited on Dave's answer, probably delivering it to connected moms. Yes, he probably is.
I'm sorry. I gave you
What
guys
is
that.
happening?
I gave that. That was a freaking alley-oop. Anyway, I mean, look, what can't be said about the cinematography for the show, especially for this scene. But I do agree with George. One of the points I was going to make was the feeling of failure after the arc is destroyed. Yeah. Like you don't, there's no need for dialogue or anything. It's like one of those moments where you see all of this madness of trying to get there, of not just Loki and Sylvie, but all these other citizens on this planet. And then the place blows up. They all look up, and then everyone just is like, fuck.
Game over.
Like all of it, like all of that feeling and anxiety of trying to get there, that fight or flight mechanism, that, you know, every man for himself just turns off and you feel it. So I think they've done a really great job of just encapsulating that feeling of helplessness in that bit of in that moment. But I do enjoy the use of colors in this show. I love how the TVA is orange and how this planet's purple, and we still get the greens of Loki, like the iconic green colors of Loki, and with both Sylvie and with Tom. So I think they are just keeping to the nature of the characters and how specific colors relate to certain characters and certain settings, and just kind of excited to see what they do for the rest of the show. I'm beyond happy with this show and everything that they're doing. I just want to see some vibrant blues when we see Mobius on a jet ski.
Oh, there you go. That's what you want. You want, give that man a jet ski. Yes. So we got to translate it. It's the song that Loki sang on the train, because I thought that was such a dope scene of just him singing. And we also had a throwback to Thor, the first movie of Thor, when he's like another and just throws the glass on the floor. But it's like the song goes, in the stormy black mountains, I wander alone. Across glaciers, I make my way. In the apple garden, stems in the end, waiting and singing, when are you coming home? And I want to get everybody's thoughts on the song right there. What do you think? Was the song have any hidden meaning, or is just Loki just being Loki? And I will send you guys the song in the chat, and I will post it in the group for those who in the private chat. There we go. So if you guys want to take a look at the song, but I also posted in the comments for everyone to read. But yeah, what do you guys, especially with that ending, when are you coming home, especially with this type of show where we're dealing with variants out of time and everything? So what do you think that song has a deeper meaning?
Nominate Seabass to take it first.
Me take it first. Wait, you want my thoughts?
Yes.
I personally, for me, I think it's that nothing is put there for no reason, and I feel like everything is a hint to something. And the reason I say that is because how we're talking about this whole thing now is an illusion. in episode 2, Loki was explaining to them about illusion magic, the differences and all that. And I feel that with having to look up with the song, there was a reason that this was being saying. It could lead into something big, it could lead to something small, but I feel like it has to do with the narration within the story that we're seeing. And when are you coming home? And it can also be used that it's him trying to show a different version of himself to Sylvie to kind of either win her trust and throw her off guard. That's how I take it. Who you gonna pick on next, Law? You're picking names.
Oh, I'm picking names. George.
It's like being in English class, bro. It's like, okay, so we have this poem. What does that poem mean? And I'm like, holy shit. What the fuck does that poem mean?
George is like, I want to go to your show again. I'm in class.
I'm sweating, dog. I'm like, holy shit, is the AC on?
I told you
It's a heat wave. This is a hot show.
So,
Listen, I don't know why you sweating, man. You a Jets fan. Y'all always sweating.
you how dare you? How dare you? I'm not, listen, you know what? I'm not. You know what? I'm not coming back on the show after that statement. You son of a.
Yo, it's not even August yet, bro. It's not even August.
So hot right now. All right, listen.
Close enough.
So going back to the poem tone, or to the song, I should say.
You want me to jump in?
In the stormy black mountains. Now, in the stormy black, so this like if you break this shit down, right? In the stormy black mountains, talking about the whole apocalyptic thing, right? He's wandering alone, right? Because he's trying to get to know this woman, and he's there all by himself. And now I'm trying to get to know who the hell you are. Across glaciers, I make my way. In the apple garden stems in the end, waiting and singing. Now he's singing on that train. He's just chilling, singing on that train. Wait, when are you coming home? Basically telling her, okay, when are you coming back to the TVA? Because that's where I need you to get back so that we can go see who the hell these people are. So it's almost like a synopsis of the whole episode in that one song. And he's singing it to us, and he's singing it in another language, so we don't know what the hell it meant. But I feel like that's what that is. It's just a synopsis of everything they've gone through, and it's like, when are you coming home? You know what I mean? Like, when are we going back to the TVA so I can get to these freaking timekeepers, and I can go back to where I got to go back, because this is some bullshit. Yeah, that's what I think that is.
Tone.
All right, so I like that interpretation. I will take a different. I will take a different interpretation. I think, this is happening after he gives his terrible reasoning of what love is, and he uses.
There you go. You're on the same wavelength as me.
And the fact that he was using a dagger, and at this point he is singing the song, and even though he's not drunk, he's full. Even though that's another way of saying that he is drunk. I think that this is some sort of love song, some sort of hymn, maybe song for coming home, going back to Asgard, his whole thing for his mom. I do think that the music, especially for this episode, especially some of the stuff that I've listened to, has said that the music has been like one for one for the beats of the episode. But I think I think it's hard to forget that the scene prior, he gives this illusion of what love is and drops the ball. And he's doing the song, and you end it with stormy black mountains, and I'm wandering alone, trying to find my way, thinking of the apple garden and thinking of Garden of Eden and all this other stuff. Like, I think it's just an illusion of talking about what love is when she acts in that.
And Pong had to add this, and he had nothing further to add, like the Jets.
Damn it, Mighty.
Damn it. Damn. We got this one here. Dave goes, I heard a poem recently. Roses are red, vibes are impaired. The microphone picks up the sounds when Tone strokes his facial hair. Yuck. Stop the Jets hate. We've suffered enough.
Thank you, Dave. Thank
Dave
you,
is a
bro.
Jets fan.
Yeah,
Dave is a
yeah.
Jets fan.
Appreciate you.
Y'all keep drafting quarterbacks.
Yo, Tone, wait a minute. Who's your team, Tone? Wait, I forgot.
We can talk about that in the green room, but my team is the New England Patriots.
Oh, okay. We'll talk later.
Sam, take us away.
Sam, please.
Yes, I agree. I think I think he's trying to fill a void. He felt that where he failed in love. He failed in the home with his family, and I think he's trying to figure out a way how to mend that or fix that. That's the one thing that he's not in control of. I think because of his DNA, he hurts the people he loves, and when will he be accepted home because he's that son that creates chaos. So I just think it's his way of just, they say when you drink, the truth comes out, right? And I think that's what's happening. I think he's spilling his soul because he just feels empty and he feels like he needs to fix something. But he can't help who he is.
But nothing like singing a song in a different language so people could just cheer you on, not knowing what the hell you're talking about.
Bravo!
He was literally singing, like, knowing that the end was coming. So he's drinking, he's having a good time. It's all of right outside of my window. But essentially, he's drinking and having all these like thoughts that just flow out of him because he feels like, there's a good chance that they're not going to make it. I'm going to drink, I'm going to enjoy this, and hopefully I can go home to, Valhalla, that kind of thing. Like, it is what it is. So it's I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I'm very, wow, y'all hear that, right? No, it's the sound of
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's the rice and beans that I've eaten.
But yeah, it's a very somber like reflection piece, I think, like of his thoughts on love, all of his thoughts on like what's transpired, because you also gotta realize that despite him being cold, calculated, and manipulating all the other things, and trying to figure out a way to one up the TVA and one up this other Loki, in the first episode we saw him break at the information that he got. So he's kind of just like still processing, and this is the first chance he's had to kind of just like let it just all out, you know what I mean? So I think that's this scene was just him letting it all out, because he doesn't know these people from a hole in the wall. No one cares about his woes and struggles, and and if he's speaking as Guardian, even more so, like, go for it, you know what I mean? So I think it was that.
So we're at that hour, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hand the mic over to Sam. Because Sam, I'm seeing on your tag right there, you got something coming up on July 6th. Come on, give us the pitch, give us the advertisement. Let's go.
That's right. Forbidden Part 2 coming to Kickstarter. Forbidden Part 2. And this one is 27 pages of amazing story and art. Again, the artist is Anibal Arroyos Compollos, lettered by one of the best letterers in the industry, George the Dreamer Medina.
Oh, thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Colored by Barbara. Legit. No, seriously, hands down, I think George takes on everybody. But colored by Barbara, and, we got the squad working on this. We got some variant covers. We got a lot of great stuff for this Kickstarter. It starts July 6th. You can sign up now. That first day, there's going to be a variant cover only available the first 24 hours. You won't be able to get it as an add-on. It won't be available anytime after. You can only get it that first day, backers. So take advantage of that. And it's a cover that I did. And it's going to be fun. I'm excited about this. The book is completely done. I'm bringing it to Kickstarter from Indiegogo because everybody said take it to Kickstarter. So let's see if I fare any better than I did on Indiegogo. We did well on Indiegogo, but let's see what happens on Kickstarter.
I want to congratulate you guys on that. Again, I'm waiting for that. Yep. Shut up and take my money. Because number one, it was awesome. The artwork was awesome. We got to pick on Aniba about the artwork, which was just, again, you guys did a fantastic job. Yeah, George wearing all them hats too, being letterer, writer as well. You guys do a phenomenal job.
All this stuff,
Catch the Crazies and all that. Please catch these guys on the show, Catch the Craze. George, you got a website too. Go ahead, pitch us your website.
Yes, sir. GetYourMeds.com. So that's where you'll find all of my other fun stuff, the Wonder Duck and Russ 5377, all that fun stuff, t-shirts and all that good stuff that I have on there. There are links there to Sam's, Forbidden. So check that out. And yeah, we're having a good time, and we're having fun. Catch the Crazies. Number 3 is coming soon. We're just waiting for the prints to come in of the book. Oh, we already have some. Look at that. So, we'll be sending that stuff out soon. And thank you guys so much, man. We really appreciate your support. You guys have been awesome, with the, supporting the Kickstarters and even having us on the show. So the love is real. And when we return it, whenever we can, we'll give it right back, man. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Anytime.
Thinking about that, the Super Backer cards are here. All the Super Backers are Catch the Crazies.
Yeah, cool.
The homage, whoever got the homage cover, the certificate of authenticity. That's the cover there. So everything everything will be shipping out by the end of the week, and everyone should be looking in the mail soon to get their rewards.
So,
man.
so what you're saying is that we gotta block out our mailing addresses because George is gonna sneak down here to try to
Oh,
get some.
I
food.
already know. I already know where you're at. I
Thank you,
I
thank you,
freaking
Pong.
Google mapped it.
Thank
I
you,
know how long it
Dave.
takes to
I
get
saw your
there.
comments and I love you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, no, big time.
Listen, if you guys are still there watching us, make sure you after the show, you guys follow Catch the Craze podcast. The YouTube links are there. Their show links, their podcast, Twitter, Instagram. Listen to them, follow them. Again,
These guys
do
are
amazing.
super busy. They always working on something.
Oh,
Yep.
you want to join the live show tomorrow?
Oh,
It's
yeah, we're
the
gonna be
first
live.
time the Four Horsemen's gonna be in this studio. So we have
Hey.
Jonathan and George, and there is a world-altering announcement coming out tomorrow. So you
Damn.
want to be there?
Oh
It's
shit!
huge. Jonathan
Uh-oh.
and Anibal don't even know
no
themselves.
pressure, no pressure,
What?
George.
Yeah, it's huge.
So this has been another dope episode of Nerds and Rounds. Again, thank you guys for coming on. We are doing our
Appreciate
Puerto
it, guys. Love you
Rican
guys.
goodbyes. Again, love everyone that's watched tonight. It's been your host, Sebastian.
It's your boy Long.
Anybody Tone from across the hall.
Stay nerdy.
Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.